this is Jim Anderson with Psalmtree CFO, and I am here to give you another word of encouragement. This one comes from Genesis 4, verse 23, and it says, "Yet the chief butler did not remember Joseph, but forgot him." Well, after a decade of slavery and imprisonment, Joseph thought he had found the ticket out of prison when he had befriended the Pharaoh's chief butler, but the butler had forgotten about him, and Joseph continued in prison for 2 more years. You know the story of where Joseph was in prison, and as well as this butler, and I think another guy that was on the the Pharaoh's staff that had gotten into trouble, and the butler was getting out. Well, it was awful to have that glimmer of hope, because the butler said that he would remember to mention him to Pharaoh and give him a good word so that maybe he could get out. But he forgot. He forgot to do that. And so that hope never materialized. And so he had to wait. He had to sit in prison for another 2 years before he got out. So the Bible doesn't tell us much about Joseph's mood or his morale during those months, but Joseph wasn't perfect, and he wasn't sinless. He was a person just like everybody else is, but he must have been troubled. But as we read this story, we come away with a sense of his persevering faith in all of this. Nothing negative is said in Scripture about Joseph, and there's no indication he fell into a trap of complaining or grumbling about it, or having self-pity. Grumbling is particularly an offensive sin before God. The Israelites grumbled and murmured and complained every step of the way from Egypt into the Promised Land, incurring God's wrath along the way. James 5 verse 9 says, "Do not grumble against one another." Jude 16 warns about those who are grumblers, complainers, walking according to their own lusts. God longs to work within us so that we can obtain His quality level of patience and His ability to handle delays with grace and gratitude without doing griping and grumbling. And I know it's hard, because when we are in tough situations and we want to get out of it, it's hard to have that patience. But the peace that God's assurance gives us should give us the patience that we need. And putting our trust in Him, knowing that He has got our best interests at heart, that we can be patient. And somehow in this time of waiting, it'll all work out for good. With that word of encouragement, God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.